What's going on, guys? It's Justin from Push and Profit. Hope everyone's having a beautiful day today. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about, just kidding, I don't have an accent. But in all seriousness, in today's video, I'm going to be doing a technical analysis on NIO stock. Besides all the other trading content that I do provide on this channel, one thing that I did notice is that a lot of my viewers do enjoy when I do technical analysis on a stock. And that's usually just where I provide good areas of opportunity to buy and good areas of opportunity to sell, and what to watch out for. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into my laptop and let's dive into, this technical analysis I'm going to provide for NIO stock. So I'm just going to try to make this as short, sweet, and simple as I can. So right now we're looking at the 4-hour chart for NIO stock, and we're hovering around this area around $46, right? Now, something we have to really pay attention to is this support area that I have drawn out over here. We can see that in the past, it's been a strong resistance over here, and then it ended up being a strong support over here with this major bounce, right? And I mean, look at this. This bounce is about like 30%. So that just validates itself as such a strong support. And then, of course, we broke through it here and broke through it here. Now, again, with supports and resistances, they're going to be broken here and there. I mean, the thing is, we just had to kind of look at previous patterns and just kind of just apply them to what's going on and just use them as areas to really focus on and pay attention to. It doesn't mean that it has to absolutely bounce off of this or do that. It just means that these are areas that we really want to focus to, right? So something I want to point out to, and to better kind of point it out, I'm going to go ahead and use a different tool. By the way, I'm using the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform because that's one of the most common questions that I do get asked. So yeah, it's not necessarily the platform that you have to use. You could watch this video and use whatever trading platform you prefer to use. Again, it's just what I use, and I also use a multitude of different brokers. I mean, I don't even want to get into it. I have so many different accounts, but I'm gonna draw this area of resistance, right? And I'm gonna try to draw it as neat as I can so that you guys could kind of see. And now that I've drawn it, I'm gonna show you. So I drew this line right here of resistance, and the reason I drew that is because we could see that today it like literally just kissed it. And so let me get out. Let me do this. So we could see, if you guys could see closely, we kissed it right over here for today. But we also see that it was a resistance over here, right? It was a resistance on this day. And then it was a support on this day where it just kissed it and bounced up. It was a support around this time where it bounced up. And again, it was a resistance here, a resistance here. So this is really a strong point that we really had to take, a major look at, right? So right now we're hovering a little bit below it. So what I would like to, kind of just point out there is to make sure to just have an alert or just kind of just keep an eye on at this point, because if we do break above this resistance of I believe that's about like $48.20. If we break this area, then we're most likely gonna have a nice uptrend, right? But again, after we do have an uptrend, we're gonna want to also pay attention to this area at 52. So if we do break this area at 48, we could expect at least a nice solid 6% uptrend, or maybe 7% uptrend from this major resistance to this major resistance, right? But again, like I said, we touched it and we started falling down. So now we really got to pay attention to this support over here. So this support is at $43.80. So what could possibly happen for NIO stock is that it could maybe fall down and bounce off the support and start coming back up. Or maybe, who knows, tomorrow it might just break through this area of resistance. Either way, when you're trading, make sure you have a plan. NIO has been one of my favorite stocks this year. I mean, it's made me a ton of money in my long-term investing account. To point a better picture, to not really say exact, I invested in NIO when it was $1 and it's $46 now. So just to put it in perspective, but that's in my long-term trading account, right? I'm talking about as far as a day trader or a swing trader, what to really keep an eye out for NIO, because we're talking about it in the trading sense. Because again, investing and trading are two different vehicles. I do both. But right now I'm kind of painting a picture of what you can do from a trading standpoint to make you guys some profit, right? So we're hovering, if we kind of zoom in, we're hovering above the blue exponential moving average. So what I would like to see is for NIO to either fall down slightly just so we hit this 43.75 area. And I'm not going to buy just because we touch this 43.75, right? I try to preach this. Just because it falls down doesn't mean it has to come up. I want to see it touch this area falling down. And then I want to see it bounce slightly back up and then above the exponential moving average. And if that's the case, if we touch this area of $43 and start bouncing up and then show signs of confirmation above the exponential moving average, then my target area to sell would be the resistance at $48, right? So that's that scenario if it falls down and slightly bounces up. Now, in the other alternative scenario that tomorrow we break through above this resistance, I'm immediately buying in and selling at this area at 52.03. So either way, regardless if NIO goes up or down, my game plan is if it does go down, wait for it to bounce back up and take that profit, or wait for it to break that resistance and see if it does have a steady upward trend. And then if I do see confirmation of that, I'm going to sell at 52.03. And I think a lot of times why individuals fail when they're trading is they don't have a plan, right? They don't know when they're... A lot of times people buy in and they'll send me messages on Instagram or any other platform, right? And they'll say, when should I sell? And the thing is, like, you should already know when you're going to sell, especially for trading. Before you even enter the trade, you should have a plan where you plan to take your profits at. Now, if you're investing long term, right, meaning you're putting your money into stock and you're just letting it ride out, then you don't necessarily need a plan. Of course, if it starts going down, you could average down with dollar cost averaging. There's a multitude of things you could do. You could just cut your losses early. But as far as trading, you got to have a plan before you enter the trade. Now, let's say, I enter the trade and it doesn't go my way early on. I cut my losses early, right? Because I don't like to let my losses run. I prefer to let my profits run, right? If that makes sense. For example, I'm going to go ahead and go to BLNK, which is a EV stock that I made a video about a few weeks ago. And they're actually a charging station for electric vehicles. So if you're interested in NIO, you might be interested in this because BLNK, it did like 300% in almost a week recently. And I made a video how it's most likely going to come down because of the linear regression channel. It went down. And then I said, hey, this area of support, once I see it bouncing off of here, I'm going to buy into it. Now, a lot of people, they kind of look at me and by the way, I'm not going to get into that, but a lot of people, they kind of look at me as kind of like this guy with a crystal ball, and it's not necessarily that. I'm really just looking at stocks from a technical standpoint. When things are oversold or overbought, for example, look at this area over here. It was overbought. It was touching the linear regression channel. It's not that I have a crystal ball. It's just that you really have to kind of say it's most likely going to come down. It's so high up, right? Just as in the flip with the reverse, right? But anyways, what I was trying to say as far as like letting my profits run, today, I actually planned on selling around this area right here at 28.33. I was day trading it, and I didn't actually sell right here because it fell down a little and I saw it was hovering above the exponential moving average, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to let my profits run, and I actually ended up selling around over here. So what I'm trying to say is that when you're like in an upward position, meaning you're in a profit, it's okay to let your positions run, especially if they're hovering over a moving average or a sort of a resistance or support line. It's completely fine. But when it comes down to the reverse where things are going down, you want to cut your losses early, right? Because you don't want to be in a losing trade. Now, I'm sorry that I went on a different tangent with that. Back to NIO stock. NIO stock was pretty flat for the most part for today, besides the beginning of the day. But NIO stock is very volatile. It does like about 5% in a day, which is very volatile for a lot of large blue chip stocks like Amazon, and they don't do 5% in a day typically. But NIO stock, even in a flat day, it's doing that much. But if we go back to that area again, really my plan is if it does come down to this area and show signs of an uptrend, buying in, selling out. Or if it breaks this, buying in and selling out. But again, we just really have to see. I also have this, in fact, we're going to go into the 4-hour chart. I had this trend line that I drew with NIO, and it's been hovering above it pretty well, actually. And by the way, I have it drawn from here, where it just bounced up, and it almost came close to touching it, but it pretty much bounced up off of the linear regression channel and the simple moving average. But it came close to touching it. Bouncing up. So it's been pretty much on a solid uptrend. I had this downtrend over here, but again, you kind of had to know that I was going to be on a downtrend, especially when you see the linear regression channel, it being touching the upper channel and being overbought. But yeah, for right now, NIO on a large scale, it's looking like a good opportunity, especially the MACD. It looks like it's curling up. So definitely a lot of positive potential for NIO right now. So if you're not in NIO, maybe consider looking at what I'm saying for this technical analysis video with NIO, and think to yourself whether you want to make a position or whether you want to just invest long term in NIO. So with that being said, hopefully you guys did like this video. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't done so already, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I really appreciate it. And by the way, also consider to check out the links in the description below, because one of the links is going to be a link to my free Facebook group, which is a Push and Profit Facebook group. And it's pretty much a group where I upload a nightly watch list of stocks that offer a potential to make a profit. And just because I mentioned stocks in that watch list, it doesn't mean that you have to trade them. I just try to provide opportunity, and it's up to you to see if you see value in it. But again, that is there. It is a free resource, and it's also a group where I'm trying to build a community of individuals interested in trading and investing in the stock market. So definitely check out that first link in the description. Again, it's free. And also check out the second link in the description. It's going to be a link to Webull, where if you sign up with my link and deposit $100 to open a brokerage account with Webull, they will guarantee you 2 free stocks ranging up to $1,600. So definitely check that out. When I first signed up with Webull, one of the free stocks that I got, and this is not even a joke, was a free share of Google. And at the time, it was worth like $1,200 for Google. And I even made a video on this channel when I got that free stock from Webull. That was $1,200. So it's free money. You just deposit $100 and they're going to give you 2 free stocks. So if you do sign up with that link, let me know what stocks you do get. It's always pretty interesting to see what free stock they give you. It's really random. But you never know. You might get a stock like I did when I got a share of Google. I didn't hold on to it, by the way. A lot of people always ask me. I just sold it and used it to trade more with. But yeah, definitely check out that in the description. And with that being said, guys, my name is Justin from Push and Profit.